Whether we like it or not, mobile technology is a force to be reckoned with, continually pushing the boundaries of what we consider the norm in our daily lives. To name a few, companies such as Apple, Samsung, and Google don't seem to have any perceived limits, and by all intentions believe mobile gadgets will usher us into the new golden stage. With all the advantages of said gadgets and companies, are there any dangers? As creatives, what does this new age mean, and how does one navigate through the seas of uncertainty?
My name is Nali.
My name is Heather Edson.
My name is Jameson Chen.
My name is Martin Ngo.
Here, Alan.
I'm a Jesuit scholastic studying philosophy and communications at Loyola University of Chicago.
Managing media technology in the School of Communication, and also I'm teaching photojournalism.
I'm the multimedia producer in University Marketing and Communication at Loyola University Chicago.
I am currently a student and a fashion blogger.
Mobile photography, which is, as far as I know, is taking pictures with your cell phone, right? So I think it's really great. It's kind of a new method of taking pictures, or photography, if you want to say that.
What comes to mind when I think of the term mobile photography or phonography is really the proliferation of imagery and photography for pretty much any available use for anybody in our society. Over the last decade, we've just witnessed an explosion of imagery and screen-based technology, and I think all of that imagery means that there has been somewhat of a heightened awareness of photography and of the image, but also a need for more education on what makes a good photograph. I think what's really interesting, especially as my background as a professional photojournalist over the course of several years, was seeing how photography really transitioned from a place where only professionals could take good photos and maybe the seasoned consumer to really anyone. Pretty much anyone now can and has the ability to take a good photograph.
Oh yeah, of course. Because I think photography, you can't be limited by your equipment, by your gears. It's, for me, I think it's your idea or the content that really matters.
Well, at the beginning, actually, I used mobile device to take a picture about 10 years ago. Back then, the camera feature is very weak. I don't really take a cell phone picture as a real photography. But now with the new technology, the pixels and the resolution, it's a really high enough. I believe now I would think a cell phone photography will be a part of professional photography as well.
I would say definitely yes, especially in this digital age.
I think the danger with the mobile photography or cell phone photography will be the privacy, mostly, because you never know when and where and how people will snap a shot, especially in the public sphere. Like if you take an elevator, especially now with the glass decoration, you never know who's using cell phone. If this person may make a call or this person take a picture.
Certainly, I think of people always trying something novel with new technology. Like with smartphones, it'd be interesting to see, I don't know, how to, take pictures like spy pictures, or I don't know, like, what's that? I've heard of articles where people, place hidden cameras or phone cameras to take pictures of, inappropriate pictures of people in public when they're not looking, so candid photos that their subjects aren't necessarily, would condone of if they knew about. So I feel like there's definitely ways to abuse that technology, but by and large I feel like people are okay. One last point though, I think there was this new trend of like the whole selfies thing. I mean, that's been around, that's for sure. And personally, I feel like it plays into a kind of challenge of narcissism for the generation. I mean, I take selfies too, so you know, I'm pretty narcissistic in that regard. But then, like, it trends into stuff like, you know, taking selfies after sex or something like that. You know, you got couples laying in bed, selfies after sex, and you know, and articles of people kind of a little bit enraged about that, saying, "Please don't make this a thing." So, in those ways, I don't think it's the best use of technology.
The only dangers I do see is sort of in a big brother watchdog sort of way. I think that virtually anyone can take a picture, but anyone can also doctor up an image. And so, I mean, we saw what happened with North Korea, in fact, when they doctored a missile launch, for instance, and it took a couple of days for the rest of the world to figure out that it was a fake. I think that there are some, you know, there are definitely some dangers in having this proliferation of cameras pretty much anywhere and smartphones. But overall, you know, I actually just recently read this book called The Circle, which was by Dave Eggers. So that comes to mind. And I think there's always an inherent danger with having everything photographed. But at the same time, it's sort of the cat's out of the bag and there's not much we can do about it. So I think that it's just generally realizing that there should still be some private spaces in our world and mostly public spaces. So I don't think there's too much of a danger. I think more so the benefits outweigh the, you know, the negatives of having smartphones everywhere. We've been able to see a lot of things. Think of Saudi Arabia, women driving, and you know, there's so many benefits that we've also witnessed.
Okay, see, I'm the stranger that takes people's pictures in public because I'm a fashion blogger. I'm a little hesitant sometimes when I walk up to people because some people think it's very weird, but I think now we're more open in our society and we're able to see that people are probably taking the picture for something else. So I think it's cool.
In general, because I'm a photographer, so I take pictures of people in the public space. So if people point the camera to me, unless I have a bad mood, I don't want to be photographed. No matter what camera you use, I would say no picture. Otherwise, I don't really care.
I mean, immediately about strangers taking pictures of me in the public, I think, yeah, that's a little creepy, or, you know, that's the natural answer. It's a little spooky. Who are these people? But of course, like, if it looks like, you know, it's a student project and, you know, they meet a couple pictures, you know, I don't mind so much. If they have a good cause behind it or something, I don't mind so much. But if I'm turning around and, you know, there's someone behind a bush, like, you know, I'll take my phone out and I'll take a picture. No, but, you know, there's that. So there's, it can happen in so many different contexts. People have their, you know, smartphones out and they're taking pictures of everything nowadays. So I think we probably should get more used to that.
I don't mind at all, but I do that to people all the time, so I have to get very comfortable with it. I generally ask people, I try to see if they're okay with being photographed. You know, the rule of thumb is, and the law is, in a public space, and if you're photographing from a public space, you can take a photo of anyone. You just ask as a courtesy. You know, there are, of course, some places where it's not allowed, and I think in private spaces, I always make a point to ask if I can take a photo of somebody. I just think it's common courtesy to ask, but at the same time, I know that it's not illegal to take a photo, and I think it should be a basic human right to take photos of people and to document.